Today we're looking at the most mana expensive abilities on land. So these are the most expensive lands in the game. And I'm going to start off with the Great Hall of the Biblioplex. Let's see if they are still worth it today. Land, tapped, add a colorless mana. Tap, pay 1 life, add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana, however, to only cast an instant or sorcery spell. So it's basically like a pain land for, like, I don't know, a spell-based deck. Maybe a combo deck. Pay 5. If this land isn't a creature, it becomes a 2/4 wizard creature with whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. It's still a land. I don't know what mana you're going to have left in order to cast the spells to pump up your stupid little 2/4. I think if you were a spell-based deck, you are either going to win with very few lands, or you're going to need to soak up as much mana as possible in order to play some ginormous spell. Either way, I think this card is a bit awkward. It might end up being still like one of the better cards that we see today, but I don't really think this is worth it unless you're really desperate for like a creature land. Okay, we're gonna move on with Tresaru, who has Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon. This is a land that taps for 1 colorless. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a dragon spell or an omen spell. I don't even know what an omen spell is, but it sounds like it's free. All right, it's like, you know, you buy a $500 gift and you get like a $5 trinket, just like, you know, as the cherry on the top. Pay 4, tap, sacrifice this land, search your library for a dragon card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. This card seems amazing. So it's not even City of Brass. What is it? Like an unclaimed territory for specifically dragons or omen cards, I guess. And also, it is a tutor. I would love something like this for Merfolk, even at 4 mana. Pay 4, tap, sack it to go get the Merfolk that I need to put into my deck. I think that's fantastic. Goes directly into hand, not on top of library. That's good value. Mapia says, aren't omens the ones that shuffle back or something? Maybe? Not really an omen player here. Tresaru, who suggested the card, omen was a mechanic from Tarkir Dragonstorm. Basically, just an instant stapled on a creature. Oh, right. Okay, so you could play, and I guess some of the omens were on the dragons or something like that. Okay. We have Marcio with West Vale Abbey. People love this card. This is, okay, so this is a land that taps for a colorless. Pay 5, tap, pay 1 life. Create a 1/1 white and black human creature token. You know what? As expensive as that is, I don't think it's too bad. You do get a token. It's something permanently on the battlefield. It is a chump blocker. It's not like I'm animating the land to chump block. No, I'm paying 5. We can put a creature in play to chump block. Or you just incrementally keep adding to the board with your human clerics. And also, if you're in a cleric deck, a lot of those clerics, they care about like some new creature entering the battlefield. And oh look, someone just got here. Let's gain a bunch of life. You can also pay 5, sacrifice your 5 creatures, and transform the land and untap it. And it becomes a Ormondale Profane Prince, a 9/7 flying lifelink, indestructible and haste. Yes, that's right. All those things together. Westvale Abbey seems like a worse fountain port. You're right. It is a worse fountain port. But you know what? For Commander, it's good. You want something like this. Because, like, Fountain Port is more dirtily. Maybe a little bit better one-on-one. This is a hell of a lot better, like, one versus many. You have a 9/7 flying indestructible thing. Good luck trying to beat that. I think this is still worth it. Great card. Next up, we got Pacers Fan Forever with the Super Chat. I have Ugin. It's busted. I don't remember I have Ugin having a high... Oh, it did have a... You know what? Yeah, it's just I never used the ability. Oh, how could I have forgotten? I have Ugin is a legendary land. Colorless Eldrazi spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. I mean, it doesn't tap for mana. It can cast some Eldrazi for free, for crying out loud. 7 mana, tap, search your library for a colorless creature card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. Oh my god. So, I mean, this dragon card we have to pay for. We had to sack the damn thing. We're never going to have this land again. But when it comes to Ivugan, 7 mana every turn, you'd be pulling out them Eldrazi. By the way, it's not even Eldrazi's, which I thought was frustrating. You can get a colorless anything. You go get Metalworker, Wormcoil Engine, any colorless creature that you want. Could be an Eldrazi. Flavor Fleet should be an Eldrazi. Probably it should have been designed for only Eldrazi, but people play it for outside of that. I didn't know the Ivugan were so well connected with the Phyrexians, you know what I mean? We've got take a good night, Toads. Get your rest. We got Micah with Sinister Hideout. We're being real sneaky over here. A land enters the battlefield tapped. Adds a blue or a black. And for 4 mana, you tap it to surveil. This is awful. It's probably going to be a few of these cards on the show. I was about to say, if you could fetch this out, this would be good. But then they would be like the surveil lands. Or, I mean, what they could have also done is, like, you could fetch it out, but you don't get the surveil. But you can pay for to tap for the surveil, you know what I mean? So it probably would not have killed this card all that much to staple like Island and Swamp on it, but it doesn't have it. So in that case, it's just a really clunky surveiler. Very, very poor value for something that has to enter the battlefield tapped. Steve Cooper with the World Tree. I don't think these count. The World Tree. Oh, no, sorry. This one does. I thought it was a different card. The World Tree of Land enters the battlefield tapped. Taps for a green as long as you control 6 or more lands. Lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. How special they are. And also for double white, double blue, double black, double red, and double green. Tap. Sacrifice the World Tree to search your library for any number of God cards. Put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. I mean, that's GG. I don't know if there's a direct combo by putting all the God cards in play. Putting Changelings in play also work, right? Isn't this like a Changeling card as well? Everything's a Changeling card if you think hard about it. Hey there, Christmas. Welcome. Mike, I'm trying to defend the other card. It's a reusable surveil land. I find them really good in low draw or graveyard decks. It's also got to be like a really slow, super... there's... In blue, there's what? Castle Vantress? Someone might actually mention this card. Does anyone mention Castle Vantress? Where's Castle Vantress on this show? Anybody? No, nobody mentioned Castle Vantress? Okay, well, I'm gonna take credit for it then. Now, the only problem with Castle Vantress, like Castle Vantress enters the battlefield tapped unless you control an island, so it can come into play untapped. Taps for blue. Not 2 colors, but whatever. Taps for blue still. And for 4 mana, you get to scry 2. You get to look at 2 cards. Now, I understand it doesn't put it into the graveyard, but you're digging deeper. I think you're digging a lot deeper in your deck, which is just usually significantly more relevant. Steve Cooper says, you can do this with Maskwood Nexus. That is quite a combo. All right, that sounds like a bad combo. That should probably work. Okay, next up, let's take... Yeah, I stole a card from somebody. Well, hey, I looked into chat. Nobody was suggesting Castle Vantress. I'll take it from myself. I got 2 cards this show. Usually only get 1 card this show, per show. Pacers Fan Forever with Abandoned Air Temple. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your super chat. It's abandoned. That's why it's an air temple. The temple is full of air. Enters tapped unless you control a basic land. That's not too hard. Tap for a white, and for 4 mana, tap, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. I think this card's awesome. This is a top tier card. I think it doesn't require all that much to play, and I think the upside is very high. So like it can turn any random stupid creatures larger like over the course of many turns. Yeah. This is like the type of card that you're happy to be flooded with. Okay, you're not drawing anything, at least pump up your team. Pump it up again. And it could be good. Can help you on defense, can also help you on offense. Turn the corner. Next we got Leon Corgi with Argoth. Damn it, there's a lot of Argoth cards. Is it called Argoth? Okay, it's not called Argoth because I just looked up the Argoth. What Argoth are you talking about? Oh, the land. This one. Okay, there's only one that's called the land. There's only one Argoth land. Enter the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary green creature. Tap for a green for 4 mana. We're going to tap it and create a 2/2 green bear creature token. Then we mill 3 cards. And then activate only as a sorcery. We have a second side to this. What the hell is this? Is this supposed to meld or something? Then activate bear, make your bear token. It doesn't even acknowledge the back half of this card. I don't even know how you get the back half of this card. Oh, I guess there's probably another card that says meld with Argoth, and then you transform into something beautiful. Now, is it worth it? I think it's okay. Actually, I think it's okay. You know, instead of making a 1/1, we're making a 2/2. And also we mill 3 cards. That's got to be worth something. It does acknowledge it? Okay. I can only assume. Otherwise, this... What the hell is this? This is the back of a Magic the Gathering card now? So it's like a Future Sight's spoiler or something. Imagine they did that. Imagine they did in Future Sight, they printed the back half to half of a card that would be printed somewhere deep into the future, and we had to wait like 10 years to get the second side that it, like, I don't know, melded with or whatever. That would have been really deep, real deep Future Sight card. Next up, we got Zaxxas with Mycoid Maze. Mycoid Maze is a green enchantment. If a creature you control would explore, instead you scry 1, then that creature explores. When twists and turns, oh, it's called Twist and Turns. When Twist and Turns enters the battlefield, target creature you control explores. When a land enters the battlefield under your control, if you control 7 or more lands, we get to transform this thing. And it will transform into Mycoid Maze. For taps for a green, and for 4 mana tap, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You can reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. The ability is not bad, but the problem is, how do we get this thing to flip? Control a creature. If a creature you control would explore, we scry 1, then the creature explores. If land enters the battlefield under your control, if you can, oh, I got hiccups. If you control 7 or more lands, transform. I guess it's not too bad. Okay, so you get to 7 lands. You have the mana to be digging through your deck, looking for creatures and casting them on the same turn. You know what? I think that's still worth it today. It's okay. John with the mirror pool. Weren't we talking about that not too long ago? Mirror pool. Enters the battlefield tapped. Tap for a colorless, and for 3 mana, tap, sack your mirror pool, copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You can choose new targets for the copy, or you can pay 5 mana, sack it. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. This card is a banger. It's a super banger. I mean, there's always instants and sorceries you may copy, but most importantly, copying a creature on the battlefield is super boss. And even if it has to be a creature you control, that's not too bad. You put your best creature on the battlefield, and this is another situation where you're drawing junk. No, it's not really that big of a deal if you're flooding out, because now you can actually you sacrifice this to add to your board. It's almost like it's a creature. It's almost like it's a creature itself. Only has to, it enters tap. That's the only downside to this card. I love this card. Next up, we got Phil Gold with the super chat. Dark Depths. Little do many people know, this does actually have an activated ability. Enters with 10 ice counters on it. Pay 3, remove an ice counter from Dark Depths. Oh, it's not 4 mana. It's not 4 mana. Disqualified. Has to be 4. It was only 3. That was your super chat. Okay, well, 3, it's going to be good enough in this case, actually, because you super chatted. So, congratulations. Great card. You have to pay 3 mana, remove an ice counter from Dark Depths. Has anyone ever done that? I've seen it almost done once. It could have been done on camera. I was watching a Star Cities game. I was watching a Star Cities match once, and somebody has this Dark Depths in play. And the game is going long, and they're not removing ice counters from it. Like, they don't have a way to combo with Dark Depths. And then some, like, 5 turns later, after it was in play, finally the player gets the idea to start removing ice counters from Dark Depths. They had nothing else to do. They had nothing else to do. I can't remember what ended up happening in that game. I think the Dark Depths player lost. Well, you're going to pay 3 10 times, so it's actually pay 30. Do it. That's true, actually. That's true. That's a lot of mana. But I'll tell you what's not a lot of mana. Buying cards from FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget the deal of the week at FusionGamingOnline.com. What is the new deal of the week? 15% off all deck boxes. But you don't have to be. You come for the deal of the week, but you stay to buy cards. Whether it's pre-ordering them from Marvel Superheroes, getting your Secrets of Strixhaven prepared cards, and be prepared for this. Coupon code Nikachu. Buy cards at FusionGamingOnline.com and get 5% off all your purchases using coupon code Nikachu at checkout. And back to our regularly scheduled programming. The save by Steve Cooper on that Dark Depths. Yeah, you are spending 30 for this thing. Could look at it that way. Benjamin Berkey with Talon Gates of Talon Gates of Madara. This is a new card, isn't it? So when it enters the battlefield, up to 1 target creature phases out. So it's like a way of protecting a creature or getting a creature out of the way. Tap for a colorless, pay 1, tap, add 1 mana of any color, and pay 4. Put Talon Gates of Madara from your hand onto the battlefield. Why does that matter? That was something really important. Put Talon Gates of Madara from your hand onto the battlefield. Oh, because it can like act as removal. That's why. So if someone's attacking you, you can surprise, pay 4, put this thing onto the battlefield, and you just phase the creature out, and they're not attacking you anymore. So it's surprise value or surprise protection for your own cards. That's an extra land drop or protection or both. It can be both. I mean, it's ramp. If you pay 4 mana, put the Talon Gates of Madara in play. It's definitely ramp. Okay, that's a good card. Always has been. Okay, next up we got super chat from Marcio with Rogue's Passage. Works with so many decks. Oh yeah, well, talk to the Storm player about that. You think they're going to use Rogue's Passage on their Empty the Warrens token? I don't think so. But this is a land that taps for a colorless, and for 4 mana, tap, target creature can't be blocked this turn. I have to say, this is probably one of the most enduring cards of casual players. And I have to admit, in Commander, boards get clogged up all the time, even like on the ground and in the air. So having like something that can push through damage is important. So I have to give the thumbs up to the Rogue's Passage. So as much as I'd like to say this card is like very overrated, it's got its point in Commander. But usually like the slow, clunky Commander. Really slow. Yeah, really good Commander card. In non-CEDH circumstances. Sable Salt says, Merit Lage has more reasonable mortgage cost than most houses. You got it. That's right. It's just, it's an interest rate that doesn't go up. It's consistent. One payment smoothed out from beginning to end. Bolt with Soulstone Sanctuary. Soulstone Sanctuary is a land that taps for a colorless, and for 4 mana, this land becomes a 3/3 creature types with vigilance and all creature types. It's still a land. You hear that? Not until end of turn. I mean, this is permanent. This is a permanent effect, which is, I mean, it's not too awkward. If you pay the 4, you just put this land with all your creatures and you'll just remember that it's there. But it doesn't feel like this is supposed to be a permanent effect because all lands are activated into creatures until end of turn. Maybe is this like a sign that like the creature lands have been completely like power crept out of the game? So the only way to make them relevant is to make the ability permanent? Maybe. Like, I don't know anyone who's using any of the other creature lands. They're all just gone. Bingo, it's still a land. No, actually. It's not still... Or, sorry, it is still a land. Yeah. It is still a land. Next up, we got 2 for 1 with the Fountain Port. We were just talking about Fountain Port not too long ago. Fountain Port... Oh, so, by the way, Soulstone Sanctuary, still a good card. I think it's still worth it today. So, same thing with Fountain Port. This card does it all. It taps for a colorless. It pay two, sack a token. You draw a card. For 3 mana, tap, pay 1, create a blue 1/1 fish creature token, which we're gonna sack to draw a card. Or you can pay 4, tap, create a treasure token. A little bit of ramp mixed in there. Useful everywhere. I think also sees I don't know if it sees heavy play in standard, but definitely sees play in standard. Bolt says probably worse than Mutavault, but saw a lot of standard play. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, if you're talking about like the Soulstone Sanctuary, it's it depends on the deck. I have to admit, like attacking with this thing and then still being able to cast cards with it is great, because I have played with this card a good chunk. Whereas with Mutavault, you have the choice, attack or add mana. You can't do both. And if you want to attack, you have to keep paying that activated ability cost over and over and over again. Little MX Doom with the Arch of Orazca for the Budget Bruise. Okay, we've got here a land with Ascend. If you control 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing for the rest of the game. Tap for a colorless. Pay 5, tap, draw a card. Activate only if you control the City's Blessing. This is like awkward if you control 10 or more permanents. So, okay, probably very fine in Commander. Very poor, I think, in one-on-one. I don't think getting to the City's Blessing is very easy. I think there are other cards that do similar things as this. But in Commander, you'll easily get to 10 permanents, like, no problem. And then you would be just sitting on the sidelines, drawing cards. Unlike those other fools, only drawing 1 card a turn. Fools! Okay, next up we got Mappius with Axe Guard Armory. I was surprised how many cards out there have these really expensive mana costs. Axe Guard Armory. Okay, enters the battlefield tapped. Tap for a white. Or pay 1 double red and a white for tap. Sacrifice Axe Guard Armory. Search your library for an aura and or equipment card. Reveal them and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your library. This sounds terrible. In fact, I think I'm going to pull up the Titanic sound effect for this. This is so expensive. Now, if you go get an aura, that is probably brutal. I mean, the value is very dubious. But if you get an equipment card, that equipment is probably very expensive. Most equipment are super expensive. Unless we're talking about Colossus Hammer, but I doubt it. Mike asks, why do people not run 4X Arch of Orazca in Heir Apparent decks? I have no idea why. You can get both? Oh yeah, it says and or. You know, I still am not going to give this card enough credit. It's such a clunky effect. You know, if it costs 2 mana, tap, sacrifice, I think I could be okay with that. I think I could be okay with that. But it's almost soaking. It's like soaking up 5 mana for this ability, for like the land that's tapping it, and you have to sacrifice it, and you have to pay 4 mana. It's a double tutor on the land. It's a double tutor for the worst card types in the game. Like, what do you get? Like, what are you guys getting? Tell me, like, what are you gonna get with this card? Well, you want to get Rancor and Sword of Feast and Famine? It's so good for Boros combo decks. Like what? What's the combo cards? Maybe there's something. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Skull Clamp. Okay. Oh, you know what? That's a good call. You know, if just to get Skull Clamp. You know, I keep forgetting this card exists in Commander because it's banned in all the other competitive formats. Marcio wants to get Overwhelming Splendor. Is that even something you can get? Okay, so you could get Skull Clamp plus anything else. Maybe that's worth it. That sounds like good value. Okay, I marginally changed my opinion. I still think it's outrageously expensive, but search for Unforgettable to keep searching. Huh? Okay, next up, we've got Super Chat from Blink Somniac. We have the Restless Reef. Thanks so much for your Super Chat, Blink Somniac. I'm never going to say... a creature land is bad. This enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap for a blue or a black. And of course, it will turn into a creature for 4 mana. Until end of turn, Restless Reef becomes a 4/4 blue and black shark creature with Death Touch. It's still a land. It should have Island Walk. I don't understand why these like super aquatic creatures don't have Island Walk. It sort of implies that it's like an attack on land or something, and it's like it's allergic to water. Whenever Restless Reef attacks target player, it mills 4 cards. That can be you. This card looks like a banger. That's a big creature, a 4/4 creature with Death Touch. I wish that most of the creatures that we activate these days were that big. Next we got, let's get Bryce. Bryce been asking for the Abundant Countryside. What does that mean? They got a lot of farmland. Abundant Countryside, tap for a colorless, tap, add 1 mana of any color, but you can spend the mana only to cast a creature spell. Oh, boo-hoo. That's actually like 99% of the time what we're casting with this card. And like, if it's an instant or sorcery, well, this colorless part will do its part. For 6 mana, tap, create a 1/1 colorless shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. Wow! It's like Sliver Hive, but for all the other creature types. I didn't know this card existed. I think this card's a banger. Banger might be strong, but like it's like almost a free roll for any deck that's playing like, you know, like a Kindred archetype. I didn't even know this existed. Not bad, not bad. I mean, it's clunky, but like there's like a lot of spots in Magic where you're just passing the turn with a bunch of cards in hand, and then when it's passed back to you, you don't even do anything. So you can, at the very least, you go make a 1/1 shapeshifter. Steve Cooper said, like, for equipment, you can go get Mithril Coat. You people. Okay, next up, we've got a super chat from another little super chat from Little MX Doom. Does Pinnacle Monk Mystic Peak count or nah? Probably not. Yeah, it flips into a land, but has no activated ability. Nope. We're gonna donate that super chat, Little MX Doom. You could skirt some of the rules. You can debate some of the rules with the activated abilities, like that Dark Depths, but I won't go any further than that. Oh! With the Crystal Query, getting the super chat. Oh! Crystal Query, tap for a colorless, or for 5 mana, tap. Oh, it's the ultimate filter land. Pay 5, tap, add Wooburg to your mana pool. You get 5 different colors of lands. Oh, you're paying 6 for this, remember, because you still have to tap this land at the same time. How tragic that greed eclipses beauty. How tragic it is, isn't it? Has to be good. Has to be good value. And for any of the Wooburg decks out there, I mean, they want this to guarantee that they're going to get Wooburg. Got to guarantee that Wooburg over there. You know what? Actually, at the same time, it's a bit risky in a Wooburg deck, because if you don't get the 5 other lands, the colorless in this card screws over your other cards. Actually, it looks like there's a little bit of risk and reward in there. Old boy with Inventor's Fair. This card's bonkers. It's a legendary land. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more artifacts, you get to gain 1 life. Tap to add 1 colorless to your mana pool, and pay 4, tap, sacrifice Inventor's Fair. Search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Activate this ability only if you control 3 or more artifacts. First off, the 4 mana in artifact decks is like nothing. I mean, they got like tons of mana. They're the Grim Monolith. They're like the Grim Monolith, Voltaic Key, Mana Vault types of decks. So like paying this is like paying 1 mana. To be able to search for any artifact card, any card, it's dangerous. It's very evil, in my opinion. Next up, Chargin' Badger with the Handwear Battlements, and of course, Inventor's Fair is super playable today. Still super playable. Same with this card. Handwear Battlements is a land that taps for a colorless. Pay red, tap. Target creature gains haste until end of turn. They want to get into the red zone as quickly as possible. They don't want post haste. And also for 5 mana, tap if you both own and control this land and a creature named Hanware Garrison, exile them and then meld them into the Hanware the Wraithing Township. So where's the backside? Why don't we get to see the backside of this thing? There's an image on the back of this damn thing. I swear to God. It exists. It exists just like Mana Traders exists, the premier place to rent Magic cards on the digital client Magic Online, where you can play all your favorite paper formats, but digitally. Whether it be Standard, Pioneer, Modern, could be also Commander, could be Pre-Modern, could be Pauper. Could be a lot of fan-made formats. They come alive on Mana Traders. Come alive on Magic Online. But don't go to Magic Online alone. Rent with Mana Traders and have access to every single card you could possibly imagine to play any deck and format. Use coupon code Nikachu_AHL for 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program. Next. Archangel New, Dungeon Descent? Dungeon Descent. Enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap to add a colorless. And for 4 mana, tap an untapped legendary creature you control to venture into the dungeon. This sounds very sinister. Activate only as a sorcery. What are our dungeons? We can have the Dungeon of Mad Mage. Do we get... Was there a specific... Oh, I think it was the Tomb... Was it Tomb of Annihilation? No. There's so many dungeons. Which was the one that destroyed me? Not this. Tomb of Annihilation? No. I guess these are all your dungeons. These are all the dungeons that are available. And all you have to do is pay 4 tap to tap an untapped legendary creature you control, venture into the dungeon. Are any of these dangerous? I can't tell if any of these are dangerous or not. We have dungeon. This is a lot of rooms. You start by gaining a life, then you scry 1, then you can create a Goblin Bazaar. Oh, sorry, you just get a treasure token. That's just the name of it. The name of the dungeon. The Lost Level. You mean like the Minus World in Mario Brothers? Some of those Minus Worlds are pretty crazy. I like Mad Mage personally. You like the Mad Mage, huh? The Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And we get to that Mad Mage, you must battle him for all his treasure tokens. There are infinite venture combos, but it's all Garfield as magic intended. Magic is magic. Magic is very far from what Richard Garfield intended. Richard Garfield intended Dredge. He worked on the Ravnica set. I can't say that he made Dredge. I think someone else did. But he definitely worked on the Ravnica set. He saw it. He probably gave it his approval. Next up, let's take... Anyway, I don't know if this is any good. It seems so... I know the initiative cards are broken. This seems less broken. I'm gonna say that this is like not that good. But I can't prove it yet. I just can't prove it. Menacee with Spawning Bed. Spawning Bed. Tap for a colorless, and for 6 mana, tap, sacrifice your Spawning Bed. Put 3 1/1 colorless Eldrazi Scion creature tokens onto the battlefield, and they have sacrifice this creature, add a generic to your mana pool. Oh, you put 3, but then we're also sacking this, so it's ramp. It's like somewhat innocent ramp. I say it's okay. I'm not super in love with this card, but you know, if we're looking to cast something at 10 mana, you can sacrifice this at end of turn. You'll have your 3 spawns. And these, by the way, these are not spawn creature tokens. These are scions. All right, these scions, they can attack. They're like ants. All right, don't disturb the ant hill. You're going to be covered in ants. Benny's Got Apoon says, I am told that the mana cost of venturing was so bad that they shortened the cost on MTG Arena and MTGO. Physical proxies of the cheaper version are actually legal. The mana cost of venturing, you mean venturing into the dungeon? Next. We do have a super chat. We have another super chat from Little MX Doom. Let's see if this one qualifies. Takanuma Abandoned Mire. Almost a free roll, to be honest. Ah, yes, the Channel Lands. Legendary land, however, that's the only downside. Some people try to remind me of this downside. You can't have too many of those Channel Lands in your deck, Nikachu. If you do, you're gonna have to sacrifice one. Okay, in Commander, it's a free roll. You're not allowed to have more than one land. Tap for a black, and also channel for 4 mana. Discard Takanuma, Abandoned Mire. Mill 3 cards, then return a creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand, and the ability costs 1 less to activate for each legendary creature you control, which is great! Even for 4 mana, it's beautiful. Get something back from your graveyard. Look up the arena version of Dungeon Descent. They had to buff the heck out of it. The arena version of Dungeon Descent. Hold on. Dungeon Descent. Ah, they did. So taps for a colorless and pay 1, tap, and untap legendary creature you control, venture into the dungeon. Yeah, the 4 mana, I would say the 4 mana was just, this 4 mana one is just too clunky. It's way, I could see that a mile away. Like the initiative cards are pretty good because like the creature enters the battlefield and you like immediately get the value. I don't know, I don't see that much immediate value in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I gain a whole 1 life, oh my goodness. How can I lose from here? It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. Oh, and it enters untapped? Yeah, this one entered tapped. Why did they try to make it playable? What does it matter to them? Who cares if would they really wanted to see this thing see play? That's so weird. Okay, next, let's take a look at Why Kill with Urza's Factory. I have a funny story with this. Urza's Factory is, it's an Urza's, apostrophe S, Urza's land. Tap for a colorless, and for 7 mana, tap, create a 2/2 colorless assembly worker artifact creature token. So I was up against someone in Modern, playing, and they were playing Tron, and my opponent plays Urza's Factory, and I'm like, that isn't Modern legal. And I called a judge about it, and I asked them, is Urza's Factory legal? And then my opponent's starting to get really nervous here. Like, oh my god, I'm doing this with such confidence. Like, I've never seen anyone play Urza's Factory in Modern, like ever. And like, looks like a perfectly reasonable card in Tron. Why wouldn't have someone have played this earlier? Anyway, turns out it's legal. It's legal. Yeah, so like the judge looks it up, and I just realized that I had to have been like thinking of Mishra's Factory, but still, I've never seen this card. See play in Modern. So anyway, my opponent like breathed out a huge sigh of relief. I mean, I did this with the most absolute sheer confidence of all time. Yeah, psychological warfare. In some case, I didn't mean to do that though. I just thought it was illegal. Sometimes it happens. So yeah, Urza's Factory. I would say so, but probably the problem is if you have 7 mana, like this is probably the crappiest thing that you can make. So it's probably not worth it unless you like need a bunch of Urza's lands in play. It's just like the most silliest land of all the lands if you have the mana to activate this thing. You are better off with, I mean, of course you can have more than just Ivugan, but you'd be better off using Ivugan to go get something. Gilliam's like, oh, crud, missed the beginning of the stream. All my old ideas have been done already. There might be an idea that hasn't been done yet. Okay, we got Fan Factor with Balam Garden. This is a fancy looking land. It's from the future. This is Balam Garden Seed Academy. Oh, it's a town. Enters tapped at a green or a blue. For 7 mana, tap, transform this land. Its ability costs 1 less to activate for each other town you control. I like that. Play a bunch of towns. Turns into Balam Garden Airborne. Oh my god. It's like the city in the clouds. So it's a 5/4 vehicle flying. Whenever Balam Garden attacks, draw a card, and crew 1. Not bad. It's okay. You know what? I like it. It almost seems like a free roll. I want to say this card is not good, but it seems like almost like a free roll. I don't even think it doesn't even say that you have to activate this at sorcery speed. You can activate it at end of turn. It could be the only town in your deck. It costs 1 less to activate for each other town. You can have no other towns in your deck, and this is a perfectly reasonable card. Crew is like free, basically. Benny says, I had an opponent play Sol Ring in a modern game. Oh my goodness. I was still learning to play at the time. What does that mean? You mean, so what you're telling me is you let the Sol Ring just happen. You're playing against a vintage deck in modern. That was probably not even the only Sol Ring in their deck. They probably had 4 Sol Rings in their deck. That's crazy. Okay, we got Raznab with the Stalking Stones. Stalking Stones tapped out of generic mana, and for 6 mana, Stalking Stones becomes a 3/3 elemental artifact creature that's still a land. The effect lasts indefinitely. So I mean, so this was the original. This was the OG. Damn, what was that land that we looked at earlier? The Changeling land. This was the OG card. I did not call him out. Man, you imagine being like a super noob. How the hell does someone play Sol Ring? What if they played Black Lotus? You'd let that go too? Anyway, Stalking Stones for 6 mana. I think that's a bit expensive. It's a bit pricey for my taste. I would say this is not worth it today. Ability needs to come down. We've got super chats. I'm gonna get you at the end of the show, Little MX Doom. So a few other people that want super chats. Well, I'm gonna get you as well, actually, later. Just gonna keep those 2 cards in the back of my head. Let's get Hexenort with the Port of Carfell. Port of Carfell. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Enters the battlefield tapped. Tap for a blue. And for 6 mana, tap, sacrifice your Port of Carfell. Mill 4 cards. Then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. This is bonkers. I think I remember when this thing got, I think we did, like, you know, a spoiler show of this card, and I thought this card was just insane. But, like, it looks like nothing came of it, because it's like a 10-cent card. Mill 4 cards, then return a creature card from your graveyard. It's any card! It's any card in your graveyard. It doesn't need to be one of the cards that you milled. Anyway, I think there's missing value here. I think it's very, very good. It's still a land and lasts indefinitely. Is this AI? No, this is real stuff. It's what the AI got trained on, that's for sure. The AI trained on this card. We have Kano with Adagia. Anyway, I think the Port of Carfell is great. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, the Portlands, the Windswept Bastion. So this is a planet land. Enters tapped. Tap for a white. It's also got station. And for 4 mana, tap, create a token that's a copy of target artifact or enchantment you control, except it's legendary. Activate only as a sorcery. This ability is awesome. Imagine targeting like Enchantress or something. Or just something that stacks. Wait, if you have two propagandas, your opponent needs to pay like 4 mana for each propaganda. Or Ghostly Prison in this case, because this would go in a white deck. This would be sick. Absolutely sick. Lil MX Doom's pocket is empty. I don't have any more super chats left in me. Well, that's good. So you don't mind waiting until your super chat's clear. Okay, next up we got Felicia with the Big Apple at 3 a.m. Big Apple. I was wondering why you said 3 a.m. I didn't realize that was going to be part of the name of the card. Who is watching the show at 3 a.m. right now? Let me know in the chat. I don't know, maybe some of you are definitely watching the show at 3 a.m. right now, given the fact that it's pretty late where I am right now. This land enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color and tap. Add 1 mana of the chosen color. Pay 5. Tap. Create a 1/1 black rat creature token for each opponent you have. Oh, that is neat. Oh, that is definitely good value. It's probably pure crap in one-on-one. But in Commander, it's worth it. Old boy is like, it's 346. What the hell? Am I like accommodating like the super late night crew or something like that? You know, when I thought I'm doing this at 8, I'm gonna catch people at, oh, they're at like 10. It's 10 o'clock. Some of you are like, oh, I guess the Europeans are still hardcore. Nearly 12 p.m. here. Yeah, I thought there'd be more people like you, Seven cats in a suit. I thought there'd be more people like you here. I think it seems like the Europeans, they're hardcore for the show. They're not gonna let it go. Okay, next we've got let's take a look at Gillum with have we done Nivix, Airy of the Firemind? We have not. So Nivix is a land, tap for 1 generic mana. And for 4 mana, tap, exile the top card of your library until your next turn. You may cast that card if it's an instant or sorcery. You may cast that card. If it's a land, then you don't get to play it at all. You know, if it said you get to play the card, this would be better. So, but you can't hit the card. I think it's too narrow. Unfortunately, a little too narrow around there. Raznam says it's 8:47 where they are. Oh, we're on the same wavelength, Central Standard Time. That's my time right now. Bryce says 7:50 over there. All right. Seven Cats and Sue says, I'm in Australia. Well, what the hell is the time zone over there? 12 p.m. Really? 12 p.m. That's literally, if it's 12 p.m., that's only like 3 hours from my time zone. That doesn't make any sense to me. That's just weird. Okay, I have to look this up. What is the time in Australia right now? Yeah, it's almost, what the heck? You're only like 3, or I guess you're not 3 hours ahead. You might be like, I don't know, 27 hours ahead of me or something like that. Something weird like that. 12 p.m. is new. Oh, I'm an idiot. You're right. You're right. I'm a fool. Hey, look. I have the excuse that it's late for me right now. Hollow with Haven Ghoul Laboratory. Sorry, Laboratory, not the lavatory. Haven Ghoul Laboratory is a legendary land that taps for a colorless. You can pay 4 to investigate. That is very expensive to investigate. You get a clue token that you can sack to draw a card. At the beginning of your end step, if you sacrificed 3 or more clues this turn, transform the Haven Ghoul Laboratory. It's a lot of clues. And then if you do, you get the Haven Ghoul Mystery. When this land transforms into the Haven Ghoul Mystery, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And it's not bad. When the creature is put onto the battlefield with Haven Ghoul Mystery, when the creature put on the battlefield with Haven Ghoul Mystery leaves the battlefield, transform Haven Ghoul Mystery. Oh, I see. Okay. And also you can pay 1 life out of black. What a weirdly designed card. It feels like a custom Magic the Gathering card. That's what it feels like. It feels like a custom Magic the Gathering card. I think it's too expensive. That's my take. I think this card is very expensive. It's nice that it free rolls on the clue tokens, I guess. But it's just really hard to pull off. We are time traveler talking to you from a day in the advance. Yes! Whenever I travel to Asia, I feel like I'm in the future now. I see things before the Canadians do. Although it's not quite true. Next we have a lot of people who have no card yet. We have Old Boy with Mount Doom. Mount Doom! We have a legendary land to tap, pay 1 life, add a black or a red, and for 3 mana tap. Mount Doom will deal 1 damage to each opponent. Oh. As opposed to dealing 1 damage to me all the time whenever I'm tapping this stupid land for mana. I was loyal to Sauron. Why do you make me feel pain? 7 mana, tap, sacrifice Mount Doom and a legendary artifact with the One Ring. Choose up to two creatures, then destroy the rest. Activate only as a sorcery. What the hell does that mean? Is that like when like Frodo and Samwise Gamgee were alive and then Golem died? Is that the... That has to be the lore here. That has to be the lore. Sacrifice a soul stone to Mount Doom to piss off the Lord of the Rings fans and the Marvel fans. You get 2 birds with 1 stone. Great idea. Voltlin with the secret tunnel. Well, I guess the card is good. The card's good enough. Secret tunnel. There's also a top secret tunnel. The secret tunnel is a cave. Where were you born in a cave? This land can't be blocked. Okay, now we're getting AI generated territory. If the card just ended like that, I would not think that this is a real card. Tap for a colorless. Pay 4. Tap. 2 target creatures you control that share a creature type can't be blocked this turn. What? What is going on here? This land can't be blocked. This land isn't a creature. Pay 4, tap. 2 target creatures you control that share a creature type can't be blocked this turn. The ability is good. It's good. I should actually put in my Merfolk deck. Oh, it's an Earthbend target. Well, that is just stupid. Earthbending set. Oh yeah, I see the Avatar set now. This land can become a creature. You know, out of context, it doesn't look like it. When I read the card, I just assumed it would activate into a land at some point. Okay, all things make sense. Bab with the Orzova. The Church of Deals. Is it of good deals? Is it an estate sale? Orzova, the Church of Deals. I didn't know the churches sold anything. Land. Tap, add 1 generic to your mana pool, and for 5 mana, tap, target player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Sounds like it's a bad deal. Bad deal for the people praying at this church, that is. It's MTG, anything could be anything. Apparently. Where's your imagination? Cards used to not solve themselves. Yeah, art of the deal. Okay, I'll make a deal for you. You lose 1 life, I gain 1 life. Mercenary, Temple of the False God. I like how we're moving from Orzova, the Church of Deals, to Temple of the False God. It has no activated ability, though. It needs to be an activated ability of 4 CMC or greater. This has no activated ability. In fact, it gives you mana. It gives you a lot of mana. You're super disqualified. We got Rin with Ominous Cemetery. It's just hanging around out there. You know, being very, very ominous. Land taps for a colorless, and for 5 mana, tap, exile Ominous Cemetery. Target creature's owner shuffles it into their library. Oh, that's neat. Very valuable. Okay, so it's basically removal. I think this is a card. This card's awesome. You have removal on a land. I mean, it's a bit expensive, but whatever. It's sort of a free roll. I don't have any way. You know, there's so many of these lands that are sort of good, but they're all wastes. So if you have too many of these lands, you're just gonna have a bunch of like colorless lands in your deck, and you're all of a sudden our deck doesn't function anymore. Imagine going through a bunch of these cards and like, this card's awesome. This card's awesome. Oh, I'll just replace this dual land or replace this basic land. Then all of a sudden you can't cast any cards, period. Okay, so Mercenary is gonna has a backup. Celestial Colonnade. That is a real card. Celestial Colonnade enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap for a white or a blue. For 5 mana, until end of turn, Celestial Colonnade becomes a 4/4 white and blue elemental creature with flying and vigilance. It's still a land. I think the card is okay. It's still okay. I mean, the fact that its vigilance is good, so you get to keep, you know, effectively still can tap this for mana. This used to be like, I think it was like a $30, $40, $50 card back in the day, because it was like the best creature land at the time. Step away, Treetop Village. There's a colonnade in town. In fact, it not only completely outclasses you in power and toughness, also attacks in the air. Bizarre as that is. It doesn't look like something that flies. I was a bunch of rocks flying. But at the same time, it's all magic. Little MX Doom says, Orzhova is neat in control as a way to use your mana if you don't need to interact with your opponent and want to push the game forward a bit. Oh, interesting. Okay. Where's Orzhova? You mean, oh, like, is it like just one draining someone one at a time? Used to be a $5 to $10 USD land. I swear to God, it used to be more than that. This one, MTG. I don't know if MTG stocks goes that far back. Celestial Colonnade. I doubt it, but you know, let's see. Yeah, well, it's okay. It does. Okay, it used to be very expensive for the wrong reasons. I don't know why, but in 2018 it was a $70 card. Okay, I swear to God, I thought it was more expensive a long time ago. I'm dead wrong. Oh, it was just a standard staple. No, sorry, I guess it was because it was a modern staple. I thought it was expensive because it was a standard staple. Okay, I was right that it was very expensive at one time, but for the completely wrong reasons. We've got next Lesthian with Junktown. Let's get some junk in the house. Land taps for a colorless, 5 mana. Tap, sacrifice your Junktown, create 3 junk tokens. Well, you might be asking me, Nikachu, what's a junk token? Well, I have no idea. Let's read all about it. They're artifacts with tap, sacrifice this artifact, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn, activate only as a sorcery. That's junk. This is a junk card. It's super junk. Colonnade used to be fire. Yeah. The fire's been extinguished. The Big Squig with Grove of the Guardian. It must have been speculators jacking the prices up for a moment. Maybe. I want to say 2018, I think the card was still pretty good in Modern, but not that good. Grove of the Guardian is a land, taps for a colorless. For 5 mana, tap 2 untap creatures you control. Sacrifice Grove of the Guardian. Put an 8/8 green and white elemental creature token with vigilance onto the battlefield. Why not? Sounds very hard to pull off, though. You have to tap down some of your attackers or blockers. Just put an 8/8 in play. But it does have vigilance. You do have to sacrifice this thing. Okay, I'll say it's worth it. It's worth it. It's not the worst card I've ever seen. It's just it's really heavy on the it's really heavy on the activation cost. Next, who has no card? Benny apparently has no card. The Tomb of Orami. It doesn't have this like crazy ability. It is not good, but it fits the list. The list sort of. No, I mean, hey, I didn't say we had to show good cards on the show. I said just, are they worth it today? So this is a legendary land that taps for a black, and a Tomb of Orami deals 1 damage to you if you don't control an ogre. Okay there, Tomb of Orami. And for 4 mana, tap, sacrifice all lands you control. All of them. So, these days we can sacrifice our earthbending lands. Put a legendary 5/5 black demon spirit creature token with flying named Orami into play. I think I was up against a Rakdos burn deck once that was like this card. They tried to finish me off with this card. Like they were empty-handed, so they have nothing to lose, so they decided to just sack all their lands to activate this thing. Okay, we got Surefire Selves with the Tomb Fortress. Raznav says, I use this in my Mono Black Pox deck, the Tomb of Orami. Okay, Tomb Fortress enters the battlefield tapped. We have tap for a black, and for 5 mana, tap Exile Tomb Fortress, mill 4 cards, then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. You have to exile. Ooh, we don't have a creature card. We're screwed. But we're definitely going to have a creature card. Definitely passes. Next, we got Pacers Fanfare. Well, thank you so much for the super chat, Pacers. Ottawara, one of my favorite lands. It has not been done. Who likes what? Do you like this City in the Sky? They're both Star Wars lands. You either have the Cloud City land, or you've got the Star Destroyer land. Both legitimate cards. So it's a legendary land that taps for a blue, has channel for a blue. For 4 mana. Discard Ottawara, Soaring City. Return target artifact, creature, enchantment, or planeswalker to its owner's hand. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each legendary creature you control. It's basically like, it's the blue, what is it? The Mangara? The blue Mangara! Where I spend almost as much mana, but I can bounce anything on the battlefield. Mercenary says, the idea to put channel on a land came from Tiago Chan before his first invitational submission got rejected. Interesting. Well, they ended up using it. And to great effect, almost all the channel lands see play, except for maybe the red one. The blue one being like one of the... Is it the best one? No, it's not. It's probably not the best one. It's probably the second best one. Boseiju is probably the best one. Anyway, this card has aged very well and is still one of the best cards. And it's very expensive. Oh my god, it's like $40. Little MX Doom! Last card, the Golden Guardian. You desperately wanted to get a split card on today's show. Or I mean a double-sided card. Okay, we have a 4 mana 4/4 with Defender. Pay 2. Golden Guardian fights another target creature you control. You control? What the hell? When Golden Guardian dies this turn, return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. Fights another target creature you control. That's very unusual. So it turns into the Gold Forge Garrison. Tap, add 2 mana of any one color to your mana pool. That's great. I don't know why I have to fight my own creatures to make this happen, though. You needed a knuckle sandwich to learn how to add mana properly. Also, pay 4 tap, create a 4/4 colorless golem artifact creature token. It's 4 mana for a 4/4 with Defender. This card's terrible. It's so bad. Anyway, I will definitely count it for today's show, but it's just too hard to get to the second side of this damn thing. Let's take a no-2 card yet from Phil Goad. Endless Sands. Well, fan fact is like the Miranda land. I was thinking, what is that land where you pay 4, put it onto the battlefield, and it phases a creature out? I just don't remember what it was called. Next we've got Endless Sands. It's a desert. Tap for a colorless. Pay 2. Tap exile target creature you control. And pay 4. Tap sacrifice Endless Sands. Return each creature card exiled with Endless Sands to the battlefield under its owner's control. In everyone's mind, they're like, this card is great. I'm going to keep exiling my creatures, and then one day I'm going to bring them all back. You try to kill them with removal? Well, I exile them. But then they get hit with Armageddon, and they realize, well, if the land is blown up, they don't come back. This is not an Oblivion Ring effect. The Endless Sands is blinding in foil. Yeah, I guess so. It's just pure shine. I can't see this thing. I can't look right at it. I need sunglasses. Pacers fan forever with the Sliver Hive. Sliver Hive. Tap for a generic. Tap, add 1. Oh yeah, I want, hold on, before we get forward. Endless Sands, terrible. I think this card's terrible. Sliver Hive, tap for a generic. Tap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast your Sliver spells. And for 5 mana, tap, put a 1/1 colorless Sliver creature token onto the battlefield. Activate this ability only if you control a Sliver. Ooh, I don't know why, but I don't remember ever reading that. Activate this ability only if you control a sliver. I mean, it's still worth it, but holy crap, what? I can't rebuild my board from a board of nothing? I'm not allowed to do that? I guess they put that clause on to make sure that, like, people who are not playing slivers aren't playing this card. I guess they didn't want the control decks playing with this card. I don't see what's such a big deal. Who cares? Yeah, the card was a build around slivers type of card. Endless Sand's art is so bright in person. I love how they were able to capture the sun in the art. It's just how it is. I've played Golden Guardian whenever my commander is 5/5 or larger, so you have something, the thing destroys it. Okay, we're gonna end the show on Archangel New. Minus Morgul, the Dark Fortress. Also known as Cabal Coffers. Disqualified. Do not pay. You do not, in any ways. Is there another minus Morgul's? Oh, sorry. Why? This is so dumb. Why did they make a second minus Morgul? That's dumb. Okay. Anyway, it's a legendary land. Minus Morgul, Dark Fortress enters the battlefield tapped. Add a black. For 4 mana, tap. Put a shadow counter on target creature for as long as that creature has a shadow counter on it. It's a wraith in addition to its other types. A creature with shadow can block or be blocked by only creature with shadow. This is a very sick card, actually. I mean, this is just like, it's like Rogue Passage, but it's permanent, and you could put on like multiple different creatures. But there's a catch: you can no longer block anything unless it has shadow too. All right, what a great show, everybody! Fantastic, 10 stars. You should all give yourselves a pat on the back. I was actually surprised we had like a really good show for what I didn't even know there was enough cards to like make 60 minutes go by so fast. As usual, we do these shows Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. Of course, thank you so much to the contributors that make the show what it is every single day. People like Benny, we got Mercenary Kano, the Big Squig, Steve Cooper, Old Boy Mappius, Raznab, Archangel New, Micum, and many more. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing them coffees. And we're going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.